What's up, guys? How's it going? It's your boy Jordan back with another live stream. This time, if you couldn't tell, I have a special guest. My boy John from EcomVids is here. Say what's up to the people of the world.
What's going on, Ecom Accelerators? John here. Really excited to be here with Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan's my man.
Yeah, John's an awesome guy. I've been talking to him for quite some time. Even before he was running EcomVids, we were able to exchange advice. And actually, he was one of the first people that I met when I came to LA. He reached out to me, and we ended up connecting, and we've been friends ever since. So it's good to see the growth that he's had in his business, and I'm happy to have him here on this stream because we're going to drop so much knowledge on you guys. If you didn't already know, John is an expert when it comes to creating content for Facebook ads, and content is one of the most important elements of the entire process. So if you're able to optimize this step, you're going to be able to see results in a much more easy and effective way. So we're going to do a little bit of an introduction. I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and then we're going to interview John, ask him some questions. And then after that, we'll go into a nice little Q&A session where you guys can ask John some questions and ask me some questions as well. So to everybody who's joining, what's up, guys? I'm actually about to pull up the stream on my phone so I can see your names because, like you know, on this software, I can't see anybody's names, and you guys have heard about this before. But yeah, so let's get right into it. I see we got about 12 people in here, so we're good to get started. So John, the first kind of question I wanted to ask you is, like, what made you want to start EcomVids? Like, did you see something going on in the e-commerce world? Like, was there some type of gap that you wanted to fill? I'm curious to hear why you started your company.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I got into e-commerce probably about 5 years ago, and then I was really heavy in the supplement game. I was doing a lot of AdWords, a lot of direct marketing traffic. But then I got into dropshipping about a year ago, and the thing that I loved about dropshipping was the fact that it's like quick, easy money. You know, if you're doing it right, you can scale super fast. You don't need to invest in inventory, and you can just scale products so much faster as opposed to being a brand owner. So I got into drop shipping about a year ago. And then after about a few months of doing drop shipping, I kind of fell into the trap that a lot of drop shippers do and I was stealing a lot of content. So, and what was happening was Facebook kept digging me. The brand owners, kept taking down my videos. Yeah. And so having a little bit of video production background, I was like, why don't I just shoot my own videos, right?
Right.
So I started shooting a little bit of my own content, and then just started seeing everywhere in Facebook groups, Ecom Empires, all those different Facebook groups, people saying, hey, I need video ads. Facebook is now cracking down super hard on copyright infringement and, just banning accounts, right? So for me, I was like, I'm already on my third strike here. Like, my CPMs are rising. Like, I just don't know what to do. So I was like, I'm going to hit up my friend Josh, who has a production studio, and I'm just going to start this thing. I have no idea how to do it, but I feel like a service like this is so needed in the e-com industry and world, and no one's really providing it at like a fast, affordable rate. And that's when we jumped into EcomVids, and just, once we created the company, it just really took off because there's such a huge demand for this.
Absolutely. That's awesome to hear, man. And, it's a good point that you make when it comes to stealing content, because I know I do talk about in my videos and even in my course that it's a great way to test these products by taking some clips and putting them together. But the risk element of doing that is extremely high because you're at risk of getting sued. You're at risk of dealing with copyright strikes, and you can lose the entire mothership that's bringing you traffic and sales by getting banned from Facebook. So having a ready-to-go service to do something like this is definitely something that was needed, and it looks like you filled that gap perfectly. So thanks for that little introduction. I can see now we've got some more comments coming in. We got somebody from Chile visiting and checking out the stream. It's pretty cool to see people from across the world tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'm sure John does too. He's got a lot of information to share with y'all, so we're going to keep moving forward. But yeah, that was a great point that you brought up. So the next thing that I wanted to ask you about, and I sort of briefly touched on this when we were starting, but I shared that I truly believe that content is one of the most important elements when it comes to e-commerce business. I want to know, like, from your experience, have you seen that to be true as well?
100,000%. Content is king in all different various formats: video, text, audio, you name it. Content is what drives your brand forward. It's what allows you to connect with your audience. It allows you to bring in new audiences. If you're not pushing out content, no one's going to know about you. No one's going to know your product. And content allows you, it's like everything. It's everything, you know.
Right.
And so without it, you really are nothing. You just have a cool website, right? So,
exactly.
you know, it's all about creating good content that speaks to your buyers, your audience. And depending on what you're doing, whether you're a drop shipper or a brand, you know, drop shippers, it's kind of about like, you know, finding the right target audience and putting out content that speaks directly to that person. Absolutely. Or if you're a brand, you know, it's about building that trust, building engagement so that you can build that loyalty and continue to sell to them throughout the entire lifetime of that customer. Yes. So content is really something you should always be putting out, even though it's not, I would say, like a direct conversion. Like just putting any type of content just shows that you are active. It shows your customers that you are trying to engage, and ultimately, the more content, the better.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. And a lot of people don't really put emphasis on this. I consult with people on a day-to-day basis. I see a lot of stores. I see a lot of ad accounts. And some of these video ads that I see created are extremely low quality and just not up to par. And you guys have to really think about what's going through your customer's mind when they see something come across your feed. One thing that I like to ask myself when I launch a product, and maybe Jon, you can relate with this, is I like to ask myself is, if I saw this ad on my feed, is this something that I would be interested in? Would I want to buy something like this? Even if it's not in a niche that I would buy in, still, is this video ad high enough quality to where it would hold my attention and sort of get me interested to watch? And that is sort of what I wanted to segue into. Like I said, I see a lot of subpar ads, low quality ads. I want to know, in your experience, I'm sure you've seen as well, what are some of the biggest flaws that you see nowadays with some of these ads that you see come through the Facebook feed?
Yeah, I think there's a couple major ones, and that's just blatantly, you know, ripping people off, right? And I'm guilty of it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. And just the whole e-commerce dynamic has been changing and shifting, and it becomes very aware if you're stealing someone else's content, because some of these big brands like big pages, you know, Insider, bestproducts.com, you know, they essentially are just places for dropshippers to go and just rob content. But, you know, it becomes so blatant. And I feel like in the social community, people are catching on to that. You know, it's like, if you do take someone else's content, people are going to call you out for it, you know, and it just shows, you know, that your business is unethical and it's just not good business practice, right?
Absolutely.
And also just another thing, just keep in mind on the safety side, if you are putting together YouTube clips for testing or whatnot, be very like vigilant about the brands that you're putting in there. You can't showcase any type of branded product, you know, any person's face. And, you know, you could potentially screw yourself down the line if you're putting that stuff out there. And, you know, you got to always ask for permission if you're going to be taking someone else's content. But a lot of the videos that I have been seeing, it's like a lot of the times they're really low quality. They're not attention grabbing. They don't have a really, really strong hook. Sometimes the videos, you know, they take too long to get to the good stuff, and they're not demonstrating the product in full effect and really like showcasing all the uses, benefits, and features in a variety of different ways. So that's really what it comes down to, is like if you find an ad that really speaks to you, or you find something that that catches your attention in the Facebook feed, take note of that, because that person's doing something right? So rather than like, you know, ripping the video itself, take all the elements that are working for that client or for that video and apply it to your own product or your marketing message.
For sure. I think that's great advice. And you know, what you said about taking other people's content is so true. I see a lot of times people will take literally straight up infomercials or commercials from other companies that have spent their advertising budget to create those ads. And I mean, I'm sure you guys, if you saw somebody do that in your case, you would want to get their stuff taken down immediately. So these companies are no different. If you are going to be using YouTube videos inside of your ads to test products, the best piece of advice that I would give and what I follow when I do this is use something that is not directly related to the product, like a video of somebody demonstrating themselves using it, or maybe even a review video. But Jon made a great point that it is really important that you should ask permission from the person and just make sure that they would at least be okay with it, because it's just not worth it, guys. You can get sued, you can get in a lot of trouble, and that's not a good long-term play. It's great for short term, want to throw something up, make a little bit of money, but we're in this for the long term. We want to make money for the rest of our lives, not just for the next couple of months. So great pieces of advice. So I sort of wanted to spin that question around and ask you the opposite. What are some of the key elements that go into a good video ad? I know you guys have been literally perfecting the formula after all these months of trial and error. So I know you've got to get it down to this point now. I want to know what you guys have found in these months of creating these ads.
Yeah, definitely. And it's something, we're still trying to reverse engineer this, because there's so many different great ads out there, and what we found out was there certainly is a structure to it. There is a formula to viral video ads, and it really comes down to a couple steps. So the first few seconds, has to be your hook, right? It has to be a wow factor. It has to be attention grabbing. It has to really draw your attention. If, you're scrolling through the feed, you're competing against how many thousands of videos. So that moment is so important. And so what we use are wow factors. So what is the most amazing thing about your product that just shocks everybody, right? So let's just say, for example, charcoal teeth whitening. That's a really popular product, right? So the first 3 seconds, you're getting someone just grinding their teeth with that black stuff. It's inspiring curiosity. People are like, what is that? They're drawn into the video. And so we call that a wow factor. There's another nice hook. We call it the pain point solution. Mm-hmm. So showcasing somebody not using your product. So a lot of the times kitchen products have really strong pain point solutions. So let's just say a grinder, or like a vegetable cutter, and you see these ads seen on TV ads where they're just like chopping stuff up, it's falling apart, they're cutting their fingers, blood's everywhere, and then you show the solution, you've got the grinder, and it's so freaking easy, right? So it's all about demonstrating those pain points and then providing an immediate solution so that people are aware of the benefits of that product.
Absolutely.
So after that, it just comes down to really demonstrating the product and all of its benefits in multiple different angles. So for instance, if you have, I'm trying to think of a product that we had, but like a water bottle, a fruit water bottle that we have, showcasing different people using it, showcasing a mom using it, showcasing, a millennial, an older person, showcasing all the different fruits that you can put inside of it. So it's really important that your ad is, if you're trying to reach a general audience, you want to be able to capture each individual person, or at least major demographics, so that they can identify themselves in the video ad, right? Yeah. So if you're just focusing on like that video, that water bottle for just like older people, then you're gonna totally like exclude all of the other people who could potentially buy it. So it's about having that variety so that the masses can appeal to it.
Absolutely.
Another point is, or another important part is just showcasing the features of the product, right? If it's easy to use, easy to twist on, it's dishwasher safe, whatever the features are. And also including some actual human element in there, like short testimonials of an actual person using it. Like,
yes, that works extremely well. We've been testing that a lot lately.
Throw in an iPhone testimonial of someone just like drinking the bottle. Be like, I really love this stuff because, I can take it with me, provides me all the nutrients, boom. It just showcases that there's actual people using this. It's not just
instant, like social proof element being introduced. And, I think that the biggest thing that you shared that you guys should really take note of, even if you're ripping videos from YouTube, whatever, is those first 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, you have to hook your customer in. they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and that is endless streams of content. They couldn't care less about your advertisement. So it's your job to hook them on and get them attached to whatever you have to show. And if you can do that, then you've done pretty much the hard part. Then the rest of it just comes from, like he said, demonstrating the benefits, why the product is good, and how it can help them. And then your phone will make the cha-ching sound and you'll be all good.
It's the best sound ever.
Right. It's really good. It's really good. So I think that was probably one of the most valuable things we've talked about so far. It's the structure of the ads. It really plays a big part. And it's not about just taking random clips and sticking them together. You really have to come at this with some marketing logic. And like I said in the beginning of this stream, think about it like you're a customer. Think about what's going to go through your customer's mind through each step of your funnel. And you'll be able to optimize each step and see the results come from there. So good stuff. I wanted to ask a little more short question here. I want to know what you would suggest to my followers and the people in this group as some of the best softwares out there to help with video editing, because I personally have past video editing experience. So my advice might be a little off-putting, but you know some more stuff about this field. So maybe you can share some stuff that you have found.
To be frank, I stick with Premiere Pro.
Yes,
it's a little bit more advanced, but it is really easy to learn. I actually had no experience learning editing, but I just popped up a couple YouTube videos, and I was ready to edit within 30 minutes. Especially if you're just starting out, the basic functions are all you need to know. Cutting together clips, putting them together, adding music, exporting, you're good to go. So don't ever be intimidated by these, software suites if you've never used them before. As an entrepreneur, it's your responsibility to take on new skills. So take the time to understand it, invest in your education, and then just practice. Practice makes perfect, and don't be intimidated and think that you can't make a video just because you're not creative. And that's always the hardest part for some people. It's like, I'm not creative, I'm not technical. Well, it's like, well, have you tried?
Yeah,
no.
right.
So
these are all excuses. You guys can definitely teach yourself. And I mean, in this age that we live in, listen, I learned, somebody asked what video editing program. He said Adobe Premiere, and that is the exact same software that I use. I've been using that software for years, even since I was in high school making videos. And it's not like I just was born with the skill set to do that. I just went on YouTube, spent a couple hours, and then I got the skill set and just practiced. That's really all it takes. And not to like promote my channel or boost or anything, but I have a detailed video showing you guys like step by step how I create stuff in Adobe Premiere. And there's really no excuse for people saying, oh, well, I'm too lazy or I don't know how to do this. Like, you have to put the work in and the results will come after that, because the age that we live in, you can truly learn anything, and you could do it for free too because of all the information that is out there. So definitely I suggest Adobe Premiere heavily as well. I also checked out Animoto recently as well. I made a little video on it for my course, but I don't think it's up to par compared to Premiere. It's good for like a little quick slideshow video, but if you guys want the real deal, Adobe Premiere is the way to go. So I just have 2 more questions for you, and then we can jump into the Q&A. I can see we've got 35 people in here, which is awesome. Thank you to everybody who's in here. I wanted to ask you a little bit more personal questions about your company, because I know after hearing you talk, some of these people may be interested in working with you. So I want to know a little bit about the growth process for EcomVids, because I know you used to do dropshipping and you sort of left that behind and started this new endeavor, which can be quite a risk and quite scary. So I want to know what that process was like for you, starting from scratch and just bootstrapping all the way up to where you're at now.
Yeah, definitely. It hasn't been easy, I'll tell you that. And I think the reason why nobody has started a company like this is because it's really, really hard to do. And a lot of people undervalue and don't actually understand how production works. And once you're involved in production, or once you're just a client of EcomVids, all you really see is the final video, right? And if you like it or not, like, you're like, oh, that's a great video. But you don't see behind the scenes how much actual work goes into it. We have to source talent. We have to, we have to create storyboards. We have to process your order. We've got to, we got to shoot. We got to edit. We got to revise. So there's so many different components to it. But, first getting started in this company, the hardest thing was just, getting into an actual physical business that has like multiple moving parts. When you're an online entrepreneur and you're used to just sitting in front of a computer and grinding it out that way, you know, Facebook ads, creatives, websites, video, that kind of stuff, you don't really have other I would say not responsibilities. You have a ton of responsibilities, but like you're not accountable for like other different aspects of your business. You know, everything is managed on the back of the screen. So in production, you know, you have a studio, you've got equipment, you've got labor, you've got editors, you got to train. And the hardest part for us was just learning how to systemize, because in this business, everything has to be done consistently, right? So it really challenged me to become a better systemizer and implementing procedures. And now that I've realized like how important that is, like every single business should be implementing procedures and systems. Because if you're the only person who knows how to like do the things in your business, you can't possibly scale. And the whole point is to scale and then, you know, be able to step away from your business and let it run on its own. But if you're not putting in the time to, you know, train the right people, to, you know, create the processes and lists and creating the resources for your team to use, then you're forever going to be stuck in this, you know, in a place where your business can't grow as fast, you know?
Absolutely. I think that's key. I mean, like one of my biggest mentors says, like being able to systemize and delegate properly is what separates the millionaires from the billionaires. Like you can run a business, you can make a lot of money as a one-man operation and managing a couple people, but being able to take what you do, look at it from a deeper perspective and break down each step allows you to take things way further, because you can outsource it, you can give it to other people, and you can pretty much like clone yourself.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
But that is the challenge. And it's about, you know, focusing on the things that you're really good at, right? And as an entrepreneur, I think, or just a business owner, it's, you know, you should understand every aspect of your business. And in the beginning, you know, you're the one wearing all the hats, you're doing everything. But as you grow, it's time to delegate. It's time to, you know, put people in positions where they are most valued and excel the most. And then you put your time into whether that's growth, strategy, marketing, whatever it may be. But, you know, everybody has their certain set of skills, and that's where they need to be putting most of their time.
That's amazing advice, dude. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I just wanted to sort of wrap this up with one question, and then we'll go into the Q&A. But, you know, I'm just sort of curious. You know, I remember before we went live, we were having a little discussion, and you told me you guys are doing about 30 videos a week now, which is absolutely insane. But I want to know from you, what is some of the goals that you want to accomplish inside of your business? I know you guys are growing every day. So, you know, what is the things that you want to accomplish for the end of the year, or maybe even for next year? Because it could motivate somebody out there, or just kind of give them some scope about where you're going to take this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something we think about every single day here at EcomVids. And it really comes down to how can we scale this business to a point where it is so automated and so streamlined that you can literally get a video within 3 business days. I want to take EcomVids to a point where, think of Amazon and how fast their delivery service is. We want to provide the same type of quality and speed that Amazon provides, but with videos. And in order to do that, there's a lot of efficiency that needs to be established, and our team needs to expand. But we are constantly growing each month in terms of volume and in terms of efficiency. And within the next year, by the end of the year, you know, we want to be able to triple our business in terms of team members and growth. And ultimately, we do see this going into becoming a full-scale marketing agency. So, you know, you get your videos, you get your ads, you get your website, everything. So, I mean, the manpower that is required to do that is immense. But, you know, we're taking things step by step. But, you know, this Q4 is really where we want to make a big push for all of you e-com people, and because we all know how incredible our Q4 is when it comes to, you know, sales. So we're expecting a huge just huge volume. So we're preparing for that right now, building out the infrastructure, expanding our team. So that's really where we're at right now, and we're super excited.
That's dope, man. And it really seems like you guys are on the right path, man. You are one of the most focused people that I have met. And the way that you structure things is motivating to me in my business, because I'm always trying to improve in that regard as well. And I really think that you guys are definitely going to accomplish those goals, so long as you continue to work your ass off as you're doing now. So, I'm really excited to be friends with you and be able to come along in that journey and watch you grow as a company, because I know you guys are going to grow and eventually become the biggest marketing agency out there. So, man, look, thanks so much for answering all those questions. I also want to say thank you to everybody who's tuning in and watching right now. This replay will be available later. If you didn't tune in, I see some people asking about that, so you can watch from the start and hear all this amazing information that Jon dropped. But now I want to open up the floor to the viewers, and I want you guys to ask a couple questions to Jon. I don't want to take up too much more of his time, so we'll let him stick around for about like 5 to 10 more minutes, and you guys can ask a few questions. And from there, I'll do my own Q&A, and then we'll wrap up the stream. So now's a perfect time, guys. Drop some questions down below about Facebook ads, about content, about Jon's company, and we can give you some answers. Also, I'm going to pin a comment to the top of this video, and you guys can click that link if you're interested in working with EcomVids. On that link, you can sign up and get started if you're interested. And yeah, so if you have any questions, now is the perfect time to ask. But yeah, Sweet. This was a great stream so far. What is this thing? This question doesn't make much sense to me. He says, how successful was your time in Namea? Maybe that's for you, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think I know who that came from. My time at Namela, actually, so I had a branding agency before EcomVids back a couple years ago, and we were in the business of doing business names and logos, actually. So I took that experience in terms of being a marketing service, and just applied kind of the same principles here at EcomVids, because it's they're kind of related. But yeah, good question.
Yeah, that's funny. So another question came through here. They wanted to know, how long is the perfect video length? What is the ideal time for creating some video?
Honestly, we've seen videos do really well anywhere between 20 seconds and 1 minute. Mm-hmm. And it really depends on where you're positioning that ad. If it's an engagement ad, you're just trying to get, you're trying to, I would say, sorry, I just had a brain fart, but just call it an engagement ad. 20 seconds to 1 minute is definitely prime time. Anything longer than that, I would utilize in retargeting. So if you're using a review video, keep it within 1 minute to 1:30, just so that you're catching all those drop-offs and providing more information to anybody who saw the initial engagement ad.
Cool. Another question just came in from Shannon, and they said, should I aim eye-catching videos more towards emoji style, like OMG, I need this, with a banner, or should they be going for a more professional branded look?
We do both here, and to be honest, they both work. It all just depends on what you're trying to sell and what image you're trying to portray. The emojis, the header captions, that stuff we use on a daily basis, and we advocate it every day, because it adds that extra layer of attention. And when the person sees, oh my God, I need this, instantly in their head, they're like, maybe I do, so let me watch this. So yeah, right. I definitely recommend you include those in your videos.
Cool. So look, are you cool to answer 3 more questions, and Absolutely. Then we can wrap it up? Yeah. Awesome. So one question, they said, so the best / safest thing is to buy the product yourself and make the ad yourself. They said it could be hard if you hadn't tested the product. Well, real quick, I'll share what I think about this question. You can definitely test the product without filming a video yourself. Make one of those YouTube ads like I share, see some results on the video, and then get the product in hand. reach out to a service like EcomViz and get a legitimate video done. But or if you have a product that you're really confident about, it's even better to reach out to somebody like Jon or film a video like yours in the first place, because then you're going to have a higher chance of success with that product, pretty much hands down. So not to take that one away from you, but I think that solves that question there. So 2 more questions. They said, do thumbnails actually help, considering videos autoplay anyways? What have you seen in your testing? I've seen some stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, we lost them.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
I'm here.
All right, cool.
All right. So yeah, as I was saying, thumbnails are so important, and it's, you have to have catchy thumbnails, because it's the first thing that the user sees before even seeing your video. So that's why you see a lot of clickbait type stuff, especially on YouTube, right? Thumbnails are everything. If you see something that really catches your eye, you're going to click on that video. So thumbnails plus, wow factor are the most important things to getting people to engage with your video.
Cool. So last question, then we'll wrap everything up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you all. This person says, how many videos can an editor make a day? Now this question is kind of subjective, but I still think maybe you can provide some insight since you work with so many of them. Mm-hmm. And they also said, how long should it take for an editor to finish a video, talking about a professional editor with all the tapes available?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's something that we monitor here every day, and we try to improve. But I would say on average, 1 minute video should take a professional editor anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to complete.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. Well, hey, look, I think that this was an incredible stream. I think that the people of the group would agree. So I can't thank you enough, man, for taking the time out of your day to come do this. You dropped a lot of knowledge on all of us, and I know that everybody in here is going to be able to take this stuff, apply it, and see some better results in their businesses. And like I said, guys, if you're interested in working with Jon, which I would highly recommend, you can click the pinned comment on this live stream to check out more information about his company and the way that they're doing things. So yeah, man, once again, thank you so much. And if there's anything you want to say before we sign off, now is the perfect time.
I just want to say thank you so much, Jordan, for giving me the time to have this interview. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys got a lot of value from it. And we're here to help you guys succeed. So if you guys are interested in using our service, visit the link in the comments, and we look forward to working with you if you decide to. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, cool. Also, I just saw my mom leave a comment. She said, see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow, Mom. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. That's all I have for this one. I just posted a new YouTube video today about Q4, so feel free to check that out. Get that good information, because this is the most important time for Shopify and e-commerce. You need to know this stuff. But that's all I have. I'll see you guys in the group. I'll see you on YouTube, and I'll see you whenever I see you. Jon, thanks again. That's all we have for today. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.
See you guys.